Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are still taking a little bit of a siesta from our regularly scheduled program, that being Hard Ticket, but I just couldn't help but jump back in the studio and bring along our good friend, Josh Brown.
Hey, everybody. How we doing?
You expect them to respond?
No, I guess not.
It's okay. Josh is our seasoned guest on the Hard Ticket. If this is a mini-series we're doing, I guess Hard Ticket is a macro series.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, we'll call it a macro series.
That's
the
thing.
Yeah. But Josh and I, a little history lesson here. We actually had an idea that preceded Hard Ticket to do a podcast together. Josh, would you like to?
Yeah. So this all started on a sticky note way back during my senior year of college here at West Virginia University. So that would have been spring of 24, I believe. And
oh wow, yeah, I did. Okay, yeah, it does go back.
yeah,
Shit.
we're going on 2 years now
Wow.
since that sticky note was written out, and it really stemmed from we wanted to do something creative, and we all know there's a ton of white guy movie podcasts out there. How do we do something different? And before Hard Ticket was thought up, the thing that really stuck out to me, especially when I would go home. Even though I didn't study film or study movies, I was known back home in rural Pennsylvania as a movie guy. And then every dad in the universe wanted to talk to me about, well, you like movies, right? I'm like, yeah. The Godfather. Godfather's best thing ever. I'm like, yeah, I haven't really seen that one.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, how do you possibly like movies if you haven't seen The Godfather?
This has been sort of a phrase we've caught. I mean, you'll always catch it in the world of cinephilia in which we reside. Tristan brought it up, several times in movies that we've covered, stuff like...
Well, you just watched Doctor Strangelove for the first time?
Yeah, I just watched Doctor Strangelove. That was a blind spot. So when Josh and I were talking about this concept, we actually made a list of movies that we considered to be blind spots, or that would catch that phrase, you like movies and you've never seen that?
You haven't seen Twilight? No, unfortunately, no, I haven't gotten around to it yet.
That could very much be considered a blind spot.
Meanwhile, I'll go and watch some random 1954 Serbian whatever. I don't know. I haven't seen. I didn't watch The Godfather, I think, until December of 24.
That's pretty wild that you like movies.
I don't care. So hence the term the blind spots. And we almost ran with it for a little bit.
Well, the problem is Josh lives in the middle of nowhere, and we would have to do the podcast remotely, which is not exactly conducive.
Not ideal.
No. So we recorded one trial back in the summer. We talked about The Goonies, which was a blind spot for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that this podcast goes is we record the first part, one half of us having not seen the movie, and just talking about kind of what we know about it. And then we take an intermission there in the middle and watch the movie and hop right back on the mics afterward for first impressions. So we did that with The Goonies. And in the second half, we had to determine whether or not it was conclusively, definitively, a blind spot worthy of catching that phrase, you like movies? Never seen that? So, sorry, I'm getting a little more
yeah, wow, you really...
People say it all the time.
They do. I mean, and back to when we recorded that episode, it was really fun, because I think it was around the Oscars last year. I think it was the weekend of.
It was pretty early. I think we did it before Tristan and I ever actually recorded an episode of Hard Ticket.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I think you were talking about, that you had Pulp Club lined up. Or a different one.
Right. And I think Fight Club was going to be the one that we were going to do, because that was a blind spot for me too before we launched Hard Ticket. But we ended up doing something. And this is funny because now this is the second episode of the blind spots that we are recording. First one we're releasing. And it's, again, one of my blind spots.
Yeah. This is one that gets brought up. I don't think it gets brought up nearly as much as it should anymore.
Well, it's in the conversation right now for tragic circumstances. We covered a Rob Reiner movie last year on Hard Ticket, and I don't like to return to directors so quickly for our matchup show because, there are so many movies out there. We are set for at least 10 years if we follow through with all of our matchups. But this was a good way to kind of pay tribute to Reiner because... I've seen a few of his big ones, When Harry Met Sally,
Princess Bride,
and, of course, Spinal Tap. But I've never seen Stand By Me.
nor have you seen Misery, nor have you seen
Right,
A
yeah.
Few Good Men.
No.
You just hate this guy.
Actually, I had to do a monologue in high school for my media class, and I chose the "You Can't Handle the Truth" monologue from A Few Good Men. So I used to have that memorized, but no, I never watched the movie proper. So that's a big spoiler.
Oh, no.
It's okay. I'm sure I could still enjoy it because Rob Reiner, he's just a master of his craft.
Absolutely. I think the big quote, like, I'm going to botch his quote that he said here. He's like, I never want it to, like, when I direct a movie, like, me to be in it. And not in the sense of, like, oh, like, he's an actual character, but, like we just watched, like, Blowout by De Palma last night.
Right, yeah.
It's just oozing that De Palma style.
Yeah.
Reiner never really had a style. He just trusted his script.
I was thinking about that. Yeah. What would be the tell for a Reiner movie?
Exactly. And I think because he never really wrote the movies, he worked with a ton of fantastic screenwriters, though. What Spinal Tap was mostly improv.
Yeah.
This was based off of a Stephen King story.
Yeah.
You go to Goldman for Princess Bride. You go to Nora Ephron for When Harry Met Sally. You go back to King for Misery, and then you work with Aaron Sorkin on A Few Good Men.
Yeah,
Like,
wow.
He just trusted his writers, and I'm sure that came with the connections that he made back in the 70s through his father, Carl Reiner, through his time on All in the Family. Like, he just built these relationships so well.
To me, I think Reiner, just based on the 3 movies of his that I have seen, he seems really conscious of artifice, the artifice of film, because he was so encouraging with improvisation. I mean, he basically, like, popularized, in the way we look at it, the mockumentary.
Yeah.
And things like When Harry Met Sally, it has, like, you've got some good split screens where the frame is totally lined up. It looks like one shot, but it's really 2. And then Princess Bride, which is like, there are so many things in there that's just like, the set is obvious, but at the same time, that doesn't make it any less enjoyable.
In a film sense, they are products of their time, while
Sure,
also script-wise, they're timeless.
Yeah. I remember when I first got to college and I started going to film club meetings, and I had a conversation with our president one time. We were probably driving to or from a film set, and he was like, who's an underrated director? Rob Reiner. Nobody talks about him enough. And you know what? I think he was right, because nobody, like, the outcry that has happened since Reiner's unceremonious death, he was allegedly struck down, him and his wife, by their own son, which has that's going to be a media circus this year.
Unfortunately, yes.
Right. But before that, like, I feel like a lot of people took Reiner for granted.
I just don't think that the public, and I think, like, that goes back to that quote that I said, he never wanted it to be about him. But like, I was that prick that due to, like, when his unfortunate passing happened, where, like, everyone's like, wow, did you know he went on this run? And I'm like, yeah, I've been telling you this for years, and you never paid any attention to it. You were just like, hey, it's just his dad from New Girl, or the dad from Wolf of Wall Street. $26,000 on sides? What, to cure cancer?
Which is also fun that so many people can recognize him for so many different things.
Exactly, because it's just, like, all around, he was a phenomenal guy, it seemed like, especially in the Hollywood scene.
Yeah, damn, man. It's going to be a little bit dour, but I feel like it's worth paying him homage as well.
Yeah.
I guess we should probably talk about Stand By Me a little bit.
Yeah, we got the little history out of this. So what do you know about Stand By Me,
What
Jeff?
do I know about Stand By Me? Well, when I was in high school, I loved the Seal version of the song. That was my favorite version. So, darling, darling, stand.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Dude, I love the song. I actually, like, went on a little run when I was in high school, listened to it all the time. Guilty pleasure. My favorite version of it for a while was this version that was in the Timon and Pumbaa show.
Oh my God.
Where Timon's singing it and things keep happening, bad things keep happening to Pumbaa,
Or Pumbaa.
Yeah, I would love to hear Nathan Lane actually sing it. But that show had like 2 or 3 people just circulating in and out doing Nathan Lane impressions for Timon the whole time.
God,
Hey
yeah.
man, I want to pull that video up.
I
after
forgot
this.
that was a thing.
Yeah, it was, and I listened to it several times.
Several?
Yeah, a lot. Okay, I listened to it a lot. I like the song. I was aware that there was a movie called Stand By Me. I think I've picked up on some pop culture osmosis, which is like, there's a group of kids walking on like a train track.
Yep.
They're walking around in the woods. Maybe I thought it was narrated by Morgan Freeman. At
Oh
one
my
point.
God.
Is Morgan Freeman in this movie?
No. You couldn't be more wrong. I told you who the narrator is, but
Yeah,
you couldn't have been more wrong.
Well, who is it? It's
Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss. Yeah, that's right.
Boys, I think she's back for her noon feeding. That's it. You're gonna get used to that voice real quick.
Yeah, man. Well, we just watched Jaws for the podcast last year too, so it's he's on the mind.
I think like that the song, like there's a history behind the song in the movie, and I guess we can talk about that after we actually.
The song
watch
is in the
thing.
movie, right?
You'll have to find out, Jeff.
Okay, all right.
How can you call yourself a movie guy if you don't know the songs in the movie?
Yeah.
But like, it's actually pretty funny because back when I was in 8th grade, I'm pretty sure that's when I discovered this movie. Like, this wasn't like a grand old like my dad took me to the theater when I was this old and it was a reissue. No.
How old are these kids? Are they 8th grade? They're younger than 8th grade.
Oh no, I think they're like 6th graders.
Okay,
they're like 11 or 12.
It was the perfect time for you to discover it then, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, I discovered it I think in 8th grade because I had to sing the song "Stand by Me" for jazz band.
So it is in the movie.
Shut up. Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that when I went and like
when you did your Stand By Me
when I was
research.
searching it up, there was like this thing that kept popping up over and over. And I think in 8th grade is also when I started reading Stephen King. I think I read It when I was in 8th grade. Coolest moment with my mom ever at the library, but that's for another day. But yeah, and it popped up, and either I finally watched it for one of two reasons. It was either on AMC one day, sandwiched in between The Shawshank Redemption and The Green Mile.
Wow, that's
AMC plays a lot of Stephen King adaptations.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or I guess I'll come clean about what really also pushed me to discover some movies. You know CinemaSins?
Oh God!
This wasn't like an Everything Wrong with Stand By Me. I don't think they've done that.
Okay, good.
They had a podcast.
They did?
They have one still.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I think it actually just ended. But for a while, it was called the Sincast. And after a year, and like I was catching up, they did a best of every year, like March Madness style bracket.
Oh, wow.
And 86 was Stand By Me.
Wow.
And in high school, like, I'll be honest, if my friends are listening, I think I told them this. I copied the bracket, guys. I'm sorry. And on it, I think it was Stand By Me versus Die Hard.
Okay. All right.
And I went through and I watched like it was like Amadeus versus Whiplash, Boogie Nights versus The Incredibles, Empire Strikes Back versus Children of Men, like that sort of thing. But I was like, all right, I'll watch this Stand By Me movie. And I was absolutely like, I'm not going to tell you what my emotions were other than being blown away because the target audience almost of that movie
was around your age.
Is either my age or like my parents' age.
Is this movie rated R though?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I really wanted to show it senior year in our auditorium. I would run these movie nights for our mini-thon thing, which like raises money for kids with cancer. And I wanted to show 3 rated R movies: Shawshank Redemption, Stand By Me, and Schindler's List.
Jesus.
They got shot down. They almost did approve of Stand By Me. But
of the 3 of those.
Of the 3 of them, hey.
I guess I wouldn't know.
What can I say?
There could be some gratuitous
No, like I assure you, it's all swearing.
Okay.
It's just it's how 6th graders talk.
Well, it's just being honest then, I guess. But there is like they find a dead body in this.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, originally called The Body. I believe it came out in King's short story collection called Different Seasons, which also contains Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Originally called The Body, and then the whole story is like, oh, Kiefer Sutherland was playing it on the song on the guitar one day on set, and Rob Reiner went, "That's it. That's what the name of the movie should be."
Okay.
I don't know how, but sure, it works as far as titles go. But yeah, like I'm really interested to see what you think about this because it's almost like the underrated Rob Reiner movie, but everybody knows about it.
Well, yeah, because when everybody was saying like Rob Reiner did the best genre entry of everything you love, best fantasy, best comedy, best courtroom drama, they bring up Stand By Me as the best, quote unquote coming of age story.
And I think it's because they label like they can't say that Misery is the best horror movie, and they can't say So I think they were like, oh, he made one of the best King adaptations. Even though I love Misery, but I would think Stand By Me is much better. But yeah, in that niche genre, it absolutely is one of the best coming of age movies.
Yeah. It almost feels like he codified the very general idea of just kids walking around in the woods.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because like this was what, 86?
It was 86. I actually looked up like other movies that came out this
Ferris
year.
Bueller, right? Ferris
Yeah,
Bueller was
Ferris Bueller
86.
did come out this year, and The Fly and Blue Velvet, which gives me similar vibes, I think. But
you haven't seen this.
Yeah, but just like, the seedy underbelly of like regular life.
So like I would say, how familiar are you with like King adaptations?
Let's see. Zip.
Okay, fair enough. But like, what do you think this movie is? Like, do you think it goes like Gonzo? Do you think it like goes like
I don't
crazy
think so.
horror?
No. When I say that I think I've picked up on the pop culture osmosis, I think it's like I have seen a movie called Mean Creek, which came out I think early 2000s, probably best known for that one scene of Josh Peck going crazy, just swearing his ass off on a like a raft on the river.
And yet you haven't seen Stand By Me.
Yeah, and that's like, I could tell that there was influence there.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like they were maybe adapting it for like a more contemporary time, or at least the time that the movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that in terms of like stories that go off the rails, in terms of like a group of kids in a sleepy suburban town is like It.
Yeah. Oh, you find a ton of like crossover between King's work, not just in terms of characters, but just themes and vibes and location.
Okay.
But I'd say honestly, the closest a movie ever came to this is The Sandlot.
Okay, yeah, that also makes sense.
Because it's just kids living in the summer and just walking around. And now this takes place over the course of like a weekend.
Does the Goonies also like maybe?
I would say the Goonies.
But it's like heightened.
The Goonies is very heightened.
Okay.
Like the Goonies has like there's set pieces in this movie,
right?
But the Goonies is like focused on those set pieces.
Right. So. Yeah, we're tapping into our blind spot lore already.
We're 2 for 2 on Corey Feldman with the blind spots.
That's true.
And yeah, like they're just walking through the woods, walking on the train tracks, and it's the conversations that they have, and that's what I want to leave it at, because I really think the way the movie plays out and the plot plays out, I'm really interested to see what you think of that, and we can discuss that later. But yeah, in terms like we just mentioned Corey Feldman.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
the act.
I don't know. Well, who's the lead in this? Because honestly, I am not like 80s movies are pretty scarce in terms of my well of knowledge.
So I would say like the 4 boys are your leads, but in terms of the true lead, the one we spend the most time with is Will Wheaton.
That's right.
Okay. Before, I think this was like 2 years before Next Generation.
Father of Joss Wheaton.
It's not even spelled the same. And then, of course, most famously, you have River Phoenix.
Yeah.
In his breakout performance.
Right. If it was not for this movie, people probably wouldn't be familiar with the tragedy of River Phoenix, I would say.
I mean, yeah, what else? Like, a lot of people talk about My Own Private Idaho, for sure, with River Phoenix. There was one that he made with Lumet in the late 80s. But anyways, you have Will Wheaton, you have River Phoenix,
right?
You have Jerry O'Connell.
Okay.
Who, do you know who Jerry O'Connell is?
I've heard the name.
Kangaroo Jack. Like Scream 2.
I've never seen Scream 2. Is that a blind spot? Oh my God, you've never seen Scream 2?
As much as I love the Scream franchise, no. No, Scream 2.
Well, I guess we'll have to do a follow-up episode on
sure.
that,
I mean, we get to determine if it is a blind spot. And then, of course, lastly, you have Corey Feldman, who's at the height of his powers with this. But yeah, Jerry O'Connell and Corey Feldman are almost like your backup of the two. Like, they're your side characters.
Okay.
But they're like the way they all play off each other. It seems so genuine.
Yeah.
And whether it is truly the kids or like the environment of the set or the direction that Reiner gave and got out from those kids, it's absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I wonder, because, he was so pro improv on like Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
I wonder if he kind of just let them talk.
Oh, there's definitely a couple instances where like Corey Feldman yells some expletives. It's like, there's no way that was written.
Oh, that's good.
And just the way that they yell at each other and that they mess with each other, that you're like, I feel like we were just like, we're rolling camera, boys, have at it.
That's fun, because because Reiner, like, he's not really known for like working with kids, and I feel like a lot of directors will get boxed into that, like Chris Columbus. He got the first two Harry Potter movies because he was known to be like good with kids, and then weirdly Cuarón got Harry Potter 3 because he was like known for working with pre-adolescents.
Yeah,
like,
Y Tu Mama Tambien.
Yeah, that's wild that movie got him that.
And yet that's the best Harry Potter movie.
Oh yeah, it's not even close.
But yeah, I guess thinking about Reiner's other flicks, I don't think there's any kids in them.
Yeah, weird, right?
Like,
but then again, his career is so expansive. Like we're definitely not thinking of something.
He was not niche.
No,
like he would always just provide like the blockbuster.
Yeah,
he would provide the rom-com. He was a man of many talents.
Mm-hmm.
He just knew how to make movies.
Yeah,
or at least up until like 1992, and then he made North in '94. Which I've never seen.
Right.
I don't think that's a blind spot, though.
Well, we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. And then, he popped up every now and then in the later 90s and the 2000s, but nothing nearly as big as this run.
Right, yeah.
He went on.
Yeah. And his last movie came out, in 2025, it's Spinal Tap 2, which, it doesn't hold a torch to the original, but at the same time, I talked in our 2025 retrospective about, like, how I thought it was sort of an appropriate approach to how he covered it. This feels like is this my biggest Reiner blind spot, would you say?
I would say it's between, I know a ton that would say it's Few Good Men.
Okay.
I would say of the three big blind spots, Misery's definitely in last, even though it's a great movie.
Right.
I think it's fantastic, but it's between this and Few Good Men. But once again, it depends what you want.
Yeah.
Like if you want the courtroom drama, you're going to get one of the absolute bests if you watch Few Good Men. But if you want that I don't want to say it's a feel-good movie. If you want that hit in the fields of like growing up and that nostalgia, without it being like pampering and like true, Stand By Me is the way to go.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm getting antsy. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. I say, let's go ahead. Let's put a pin in it for now. And to all of you listeners out there, I am about to watch Stand By Me for the very first time with my good friend Josh Brown, and we will return here in a moment to definitively decide whether or not this movie is a blind spot or not. I'm sure if you've seen it, you already have an idea, and that idea is that it is. But imagine somebody listening right now and they're like, "Oh, you could skip this one."
There's one scene in this that I'm really interested to hear your take on.
Okay.
It's kind of like the bear swing scene last night in the Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean. That's just notorious.
That's a great scene.
Yeah. Any predictions that you have about this movie?
They find a dead body.
Interesting. All right.
Wrapped in plastic?
Oh, you just want it to be Twin Peaks, don't you?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
they don't find Laura Palmer. I'm telling you that right now.
No, it's a man, right? Well, I guess
we'll find out.
All right, folks, this is it. We will be back with you in a moment. Time will pass slower for us, but maybe it'll feel like a blink of an eye. Who knows? We are back here on the Blind Spots miniseries of Hard Ticket, the macro series, where we go to the movies expecting a double. Well, you don't need all that.
Based
context.
on a novella.
Well, that was Stand By Me. Man, that was fantastic.
It's like I said, it's one hell of a way to kick off a year, or just like I said, not a pick me up.
No, it's not. Well, it's
that's how you look at it.
It's kind of bittersweet. Yeah. I loved it though. Who would have thought I loved this universally beloved movie?
Oh, don't tip your hand too early now,
Yeah,
pal.
well, yes, okay, yeah. Well, we gotta establish a couple things. So it was a movie about death, really.
Yeah.
About, I mean, I didn't know if I realized that the body was like the whole setup. It's like literally the opening line. Like this, I was 12 years old when I saw my first dead body. I don't think I knew that.
Well, we were doing research right before we came back here, and yeah, he literally wrote this with the different seasons novella, each or like collection of short stories. Each short story is a different season, and yeah, he called this one "The Fall from Innocence," which really, yeah, that's exactly what it is. I love that line. Not to spoil the end.
Oh yeah, we're doing spoilers on this episode, just so you know.
Hopefully you watched the movie by the time that we came back here. But when he says, when we came back, the town seemed so much smaller.
Yeah.
And the impact that this event had on them. And I feel like maybe I'm just speaking for myself, not in like that we all went and saw a dead body, but like we had those experiences around that point in life where we did lose our innocence. In a way. And it usually did happen with our friends or people close to us.
Yeah, I think death is like the way that you lose it, right?
Yeah.
My grandfather died a couple years after like my first family dog died. And I like bawled my eyes out when my dog died.
Yeah.
But when my grandfather died, like it's not that it was less sad. Obviously it was more sad. He was a person. And I did cry, but like I was familiar with death. Like the permanence of it. Like there's one thing to say everybody knows that you die, right?
Yeah.
Then you see a dead body. Like that's the difference. That's the it goes from like understanding or knowing to understanding or knowing to realizing, you know?
To a kid it's just a word until it actually happens.
Yeah, until death happens. I was getting a little bit of foreboding too, like I didn't predict that anybody would die in this movie. I think I did that because I didn't want anybody to die in this movie.
No, and you get like from the start, you never really like feel like that's why like a lot of people are surprised that this is a Stephen King adaptation.
Right.
Because like it's not like, oh, the body's haunting the boys or like calling out to like get the murderer or like there's a ghost train. No, it's very straightforward.
It is very straightforward. It's very grounded.
Yeah.
I had the sense that it was like it's like the antithesis to a Steven Spielberg movie, almost, right? Because it's like, I looked up what year like E.T. came out before
82,
this.
right?
82, so it's 4 years before. And you get the shot of like the full moon in Stand By Me. That's like, I don't know, E.T. just made people rethink cinematically what the full moon was. It needed to be like a silhouette of a kid on a bike, you know? But no, there's nothing like that in this movie. This is it's not cynical, but it's like real. You know, Spielberg is known for that dramatic reality. It's not like, I mean, some people think it's schmaltzy, but really it's just like heightened emotion.
Absolutely.
But you don't get that moment where he comes home and is like, his dad really did love him the whole time. It's like, no, he's a prick.
Yeah. Wrong boy died. that sort of thing.
It's just walk hard moment.
Exactly. That's what I think of every time. But yeah, no, like this, like, oh God, the way it just hits.
Yeah.
Because of how grounded, like you watch, say, go back to E.T. and think, wow, spectacle. And you watch this one and you're like, wow, oh my God, I'm old. Like, you're like, what have I become? And it's not in like a bad way, usually. It's look at how far I've come.
Would you call this a period piece?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that is, like, that's what I was alluding to earlier, where some people, I wouldn't say they argue whether, like, this is still relatable in the sense, like, oh, we can walk through the woods on the railroad tracks. So I can go tell my parents I'm going to go stay at so-and-so's house and just sleep over in the back field.
Yeah.
Like, not to be like old man yells at cloud here, but I might say that sense of connection has definitely taken a big hit.
Well, yeah, I recently watched Eddington with my girlfriend.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you know, I knew the discourse surrounding this movie going into it, and she agreed to watch it with me. And she was like, at the beginning, I don't know, like 10, 20 minutes in, she was like, I don't think I like movies with like phones in them.
Nope.
Or like screens in them or something like that. And it's like, well, if you want to make a movie now that's realistic, there's no getting around that.
Yeah, no.
Everybody, especially these kids, especially with their neglectful parents, they would all be like iPad babies.
Oh,
you
absolutely.
know? Which is depressing and awful because like the way that they're just walking around, they're like, hanging out in the scrap yard. Everything's really tactile.
The only sense of connection they have is because they don't have that at home.
Yeah,
they find it with these friends, with each other.
Yeah, and that is depressing.
Nowadays, they just be holed up in their room. Like I said, sorry to be like, kids these days, we had it much better. But like, I find it so ironic that this tool used for connection isolates us so much.
I think smartphones are actually making us.
So we're not talking
dumber.
about Stand By Me anymore. Just screw technology.
No, I think it is like there is something relatable still about it.
Absolutely.
I hope that it's a universal thing, that it isn't disappearing. But I can't help but think about it. Like who plays in tree houses anymore? You know, like that kind of thing. Kids are going to be playing like Angry Birds 3 or whatever on their phone. I don't know.
Well, I mean, but you also got to look at it like through the lens of when it was made as well. Maybe it was already like a bygone in the 1980s.
Well, right, because it comes out in 86 and it's looking back at, what is that, the 50s? 59?
Yeah, 59.
Yeah, so it's already, and we've talked on Hard Ticket about how the 80s are nostalgic for the 50s, and then the 2000s and the 2010s were nostalgic for the 80s, which were already nostalgic for the 50s.
Yeah, and we're getting to the 90s now.
Yeah, now we're getting to the 90s and the early 2000s.
Oh boy.
But like already having these things like the built-in, like the narrator, the voiceover trope who's looking back on his own childhood, like, yeah, that's like that has that nostalgia built in because it's already inherently reflective.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other thing that really blew me away this time, because we talked about before, like, there are set pieces, but there aren't like Goonies level set pieces.
Right.
Set pieces don't become the story, like say in a Spielberg flick.
No.
But like somehow it all feels, even though I've never dodged a train, I've never had a leech on me. I think the only thing that's happened to any of these characters in this movie was I got real close to a deer once.
Oh, there you go.
But yet it still feels relatable.
And part of the way I think that it's shot, you've got like the kid who's underneath the porch digging for his pennies, and
oh my god,
when he overhears the conversation, it comes to his POV, and he's looking through like the scaffolding,
like the slats,
and it's like a little diamond POV thing shot. So you're getting their perspective. You're getting their perspective while they're walking over the bridge, looking down at the river and everything. Like, it makes it inherently relatable, even if you've never experienced these events. And it's just done really effectively.
Yeah.
It's never like in your face about it.
No.
We were talking about what's the Rob Reiner tell. I still can't place it.
Phenomenal screenwriters.
Yeah.
and he works well with the writers and he works well with the actors.
Truly. That does seem to be. He just really commits himself to the material.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these kids he got incredible performances out of them. River Phoenix especially, like, holy crap, man.
He's good.
He was amazing.
He's incredible. Like, a lot of people say he was going to be like, if he didn't pass away, unfortunately, Leo DiCaprio might not have been a thing.
Oh, you think?
That's what a lot of people are. Leo just filled in for what River Phoenix's trajectory was.
Okay. Well, I could see that.
I'm doing a huge disservice to River Phoenix because the only other one I know is My Own Private Idaho. Oh, he's in Sneakers, if you haven't seen the Robert Redford flick.
Sneakers?
Okay.
No,
God, no, not Sneaks. But he has that amazing opening sequence of The Last Crusade as young Indy.
Yeah.
And but he conforms to it. That guy was a tour de force. But yeah, in this one, like all four of them, like there's parts where I'm like, Corey Feldman, what in the hell is that laugh? And I'm like, wait. I tried catching on like, oh, I have a unique laugh when I was like in elementary school and stuff that. Like, oh no, this is what being a kid was. And that's why like a lot of people hold this in such high regard because it feels the most natural. Like you watch A Sandlot and there's a lot of they didn't talk like this.
No.
Like there's no kid just repeating every single line he says. There's no like you're killing me Smalls or like
Right,
any
there's
of
no
that.
like trying to coin like that iconography,
Yeah.
that catchphrase thing.
No, they just make jokes about each other's mother and refer to their genitalia the entire time.
And there's nothing that really took me out of it. You've got that Ace character who's like a young, an aspiring gang member.
Well, it's almost like because I was realizing that too. This time, like what I used to think was like nothing really stood for like there was no like symbolism in this movie. Like there was never like oh, this stands for this and their journey towards adulthood and like
Right.
losing their innocence. But this time I was like, is the whole plot point of Ace and the gang,
Mhm.
is this just because, oh, we need to break this up into chunks so that we're not just spending the whole movie with these boys and we
Right.
want some jumps? Or is it like, this is what they could become?
That's definitely what I got from it. And especially I think the Ace character himself, he's nobody's brother.
No.
Now we got some brothers in the gang, and we've got the people who are directly like, I don't want to be my brother. That's actually like a source of anxiety
Yeah.
for me, is becoming my delinquent, literally criminal brother.
Yeah.
But Ace, no, he's not. And he kind of mirrors Corey.
Yeah.
Because he lost his brother, and now he could succumb to, like, if he never made it out.
Yeah.
And he gave in all that anger and all that stuff. Like, you get the feeling that they literally have a standoff
Mhm.
against one another.
It's almost like a mutual understanding between the two.
Right, and he says like, we won't forget about this, and we never
It's
know.
never mentioned.
Yeah,
Doesn't
they
need
don't.
to be.
They all grow up at least, so they
Yeah.
don't like kill him.
Doesn't get his hat back. That always pissed me off.
Yeah, doesn't that suck?
But-
It really does suck.
So which like going into this, now that you've finally seen it, obviously we mentioned earlier the equivalent to the bear scene, which is like to the average listener out there, not to be like, I've seen a movie that you haven't, but likely you haven't seen The Life and Time of Judge Roy Bean, like Jeff and I did to start off this
last
year.
night. Yeah.
Yeah, in which there's just a scene that sticks out like a sore thumb.
Some guy who's traveling with a bear in his wagon. He's looking for a place to like literally just die. And Judge Roy Bean chases him off because he's like, no illegal dying in my town. And the bear falls out, and the bear just becomes like their pet bear. So it hangs around this like Western town. And there's this whole montage where it becomes part of the family, and they take it on a picnic, and they get on a seesaw with it. And it's like
pushes it on a swing.
And there's this like, I don't know what song's playing. It reminds me of the raindrops are falling from like Butch Cassidy.
It's very much like that.
And we went into this. You were like, "There's a scene like that in this movie," which is the pie eating contest scene.
Yeah.
So Gordy is narrating a scene by the campfire, and he's like, "There's this guy. Everybody called him lard ass because he had a gland problem, and he chugs a bottle of like castor oil, eats an egg, eats a bunch of pie, and then throws up on everybody in proximity, which triggers this effect of people throwing up on each other."
Unlike anything else like that in the rest of the movie.
Yeah, which to me is like, I get it, because it's a scene where like Gordy is such like a good storyteller that you literally are visualizing it to the same degree that you're watching the story. Was it necessary? Up in the air.
Yeah, it was kind of like, maybe we need to know that this Gordy kid's good at what he says he is, or like what his friends think he is.
Sure, yeah.
But it's also very like, it's the kind of story like a 12-year-old would tell.
It is, yeah. It's accurate again. Like I still don't get the impression that that it doesn't take me out of it. It's accurate to like this age group and these. Like I was writing stories and stuff around that. I think I was. Yeah, but I didn't grow up to be a writer, unfortunately.
It's still time.
Maybe someday I can still grow up.
Need a River Phoenix just yelling at you.
Yeah, I need it. I need my River Phoenix, basically. Yeah, that was an interesting scene. Don't know what to think about that, especially because the rest of the movie is so tight and
incredibly so.
Yeah, the way they shoot it too. I love the moving camera fading into each of them around the campfire when they're all like, "Is Goofy a dog? Is Goofy not a dog? What is Goofy?"
We've all had that sleepover.
Right.
Or multiple sleepovers.
Oh, yeah. I still talk to a couple friends I had when I was that age. There's one of my good friends, Robert. We went to preschool together, and we still regularly keep in touch.
I don't think I have any.
No?
I have friends like we were. I have more friends now that we were acquaintances in like middle or high school, and then after the fact, like because we found ourselves in some similar situation or near each other that we're like, oh hey, like then we became best friends. But none from that time period. They've all moved away. I have no idea where they are.
Well, we don't grow up as fast as they used to. I mean, I believe that, like,
oh yeah,
there's like, they say like a quarter of all SpongeBob SquarePants viewers are like adults with no children. We're still watching the cartoons we grew up with.
We have access to our childhoods much more easily than they did.
Apparently the domestic abuse was a lot more normalized for children of that generation. Like all of them are beaten or neglected by their parents.
Yeah.
God.
But then we and it makes sure to have that nice little bit at the end in the beginning, like Richard Dreyfuss didn't become his dad.
Yeah,
he did follow through on his dreams.
Yes, that's why I say it's not like a downer.
Yeah, no. Well, the bit before the very, very end, where it's like, of what happens to River Phoenix's character,
right? Which is added layer of tragedy on that as well with the real life actor. But yeah, that's it's nice that you don't get to see his story like when he actually, and this movie retains the idea that like you do a trade, you're still a blue collar, you're still lower class, but when you go to college, you get out.
I wish that was the case.
yeah, it's not exactly true anymore. In fact, we're having this boom of like trades are important. We need more people in trade jobs.
Yeah.
But at the time, I understand college was a lot more of a springboard for an actual career.
Absolutely.
So River Phoenix, he gets a job. He goes to law school, I guess.
Becomes a lawyer, yeah.
And we don't really get to see that, but we get the end of his story.
His performance, like River's performance, I feel like he had to be told, like, you're going to be a lawyer when you grow up. Like, like your character is what happens. He's like, I believe it. I don't see River Phoenix, like, I don't see an adult actor be a lawyer, and it's supposed to be the same character as River Phoenix.
Right.
But through that performance, when Richard Dreyfuss is like, he became a lawyer, and then he loved, like, helping people when he could. And it's like, no, I absolutely believe that.
Yeah, you get the sense that, like, he has something more because he is empathetic, he's mature in a way that there's are 4 kids, but really there's the 2 main ones.
Yeah.
And Gordy's the main character.
Yeah. And he's a Stephen King stand-in.
Yeah, does Stephen King write all of his stories like the main character's a writer?
I'd say at least 70% of them are.
All work and no play.
Which I do find it very funny that, like, he comments on himself not being able to write endings. Because, his endings, it's usually good when he ends it at the climax and has no falling action.
Oh, you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because you're reading. What are you reading right now?
I just finished The Shining, and there is an actual epilogue in The Shining, and it's pretty good.
Okay.
But I've read other books where I'm like, dude, end. Like, you shouldn't have gone on another 50 pages.
I get it. I struggle with endings in the few times I actually do write or make movies. But
because he writes about, like, he gets an idea and he just goes with it.
He does.
Like, this one was one of those that he really found a fantastic theme to go with it. What's losing innocence, like, truly embodied, no pun intended.
Yeah.
And it's seeing death up close and personal.
How would you do this today?
How would we do this? Oh, God.
Yeah, how do you...
Do you want the pessimistic way?
Well, you actually work with kids. You're a teacher.
Yeah.
And they're not on their phones all the time in the classroom. So.
No, my school, like, they're not allowed to have them. But I don't know, because, like, I don't ask the kids. I'm like, hey, what'd you do when you got home yesterday? But I see a lot of them, like, riding around town on their bikes.
Oh,
I see a lot of them, like, nowadays, it's like the electric bikes.
Whatever. That's still better than...
Yeah, I know, right? It's better than just...
They're on, like, a Tesla bike watching their iPad.
But, like, how would I do this today? I feel like... Yeah, because nothing stays secret nowadays.
Well, I mentioned Mean Creek. Have you seen Mean Creek?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Jeff.
The Josh Peck character in that movie, he's the loser everybody's picking on.
Oh, he's lardass?
Well, I guess so, yeah. And he's like, but he like videos himself. He videotapes himself. I think that movie came out in like 2002, 2003.
Yeah.
And that's like, that was the contemporary updating right there.
Yeah,
Like,
but
you have,
nowadays it's you get on Snapchat immediately and you go like, dude, just found a body. Boom, 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 boom.
right. Yeah. They're looking on Snap Maps and they're like,
It's
where's the
all
last time he
it's
clocked his
all
location?
it's all sent immediately unless you get a kid whose parents don't allow him to have a phone. But then again, what are the odds that you have 4 kids that don't have phones?
Yeah.
Dude, technology ruins movies nowadays. That's why nobody does it. It's like James L. Brooke just made his new movie, like Ella McKay, and people were like, it's just randomly set in '08. I'm like, yeah, because that solves a ton, like story wise.
Right, well, you can have the thing where like there's a brother character and they all have to, like, same kind of brother. He's mean. He's a bully. He's rolling with the crew. So all the kids turn their like locations off and they don't use their phone, something like that.
Yeah, they leave them at home because they know their parents like have Life 360 and they'll track them. But then again, what parent's gonna let their it's gonna be instant communication.
Yeah.
Like so and so's gonna call. Like that's why I don't think they could have made it in the 80s.
If you make this movie now, I think you said it in 2025. The person looking back at their childhood in the 90s. And then there's a double one where they're talking to their father who's looking back at his childhood in the 50s.
Yeah.
And then his father's talking to their grandfather and he's looking back at his father in the 20s. And you just
keeps going.
Yeah.
One was in the Civil War.
100 years in the past. I think that's just how you do it.
Well, I think that's like why they didn't set it in the 80s. Well, of course, the novella was based in the 50s as well. Because like, yeah, so-and-so's mom just calls over to other person's house.
That's
it's
true.
over. No, they're not here, and then and we've had those movies. Like, oh, the kids go off on an adventure.
Well, it's the thing with E.T. It is in the 80s. It takes place in the 80s, and everybody's like, they live in like the suburbs or whatever.
Yeah, suburbia kills this.
Yeah, and the parents are active in the plot in that versus this movie where they're just. It's almost like the Breakfast Club. Like they're unseen for the most part, but anytime they're mentioned, it's like in negative fashion.
Yeah, the parents in this one are just dicks. Whereas in like Breakfast Club, it's like, oh, we're just too busy.
Yeah.
Being a part of Ronald Reagan's America.
That's right.
That's for you, Tristan.
Got to get him in on this conversation. I guess, that we should answer the question as to whether or not we consider this movie a blind spot.
Yeah. So obviously I've seen this before.
You're right. Yeah.
You have not. Upon rewatch, it holds up.
Yeah.
As I said, I don't think I had any new discoveries this time, except maybe thinking more story-wise about what the purpose of Ace and the gang are.
Yes.
And that was a nice little thing to have, because I haven't watched this probably since like 2019 or 2020.
It's been a few years then.
It has been.
Yeah.
And going back to it, it still holds up. It's still fantastic. I don't think it's Reiner's best work, but I think it's better than many's best work.
Right. Yeah, I would say that.
Like, that's insane to say.
Is there a better coming of age movie, you think?
Of this age range? No.
Oh, okay. Of like 50s or
of like losing your innocence like 12 years, like middle school.
Okay.
Like somebody, like I said, the only relatable one I can think of is like The Sandlot, but I don't think of that like as losing his innocence.
The Sandlot is like addressing your biases.
Yeah.
It's like rumors conflate things, they inflate things.
Yeah.
We've got our Boo Radley character, but the dog is actually a sweetheart.
Yeah.
There's the stakes are not. It's more just a hangout movie.
Yeah. And well, one could argue that this is a bit of a hangout movie.
This is a hangout movie, but it has like an actual climax and a showdown, and there are villains that we cut to, antagonists who are imposing on our heroes.
Yeah, because there's movies that I would say this is the best flick that I've seen that represents like going from high school and beyond.
Yeah.
There's movies where I'm like, oh, this is like represents going out of college and becoming an adult.
And then there are movies of the same age range that are contemporary, like we had DD come out a year or two ago, and that was like during the MySpace.
It was like 06, 07? Yeah.
I think so, yeah. And then 8th grade, of course.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, which, I mean, those, and digital and technology, that's so integral to those stories.
It is, because it's a part of our life. It was a part of my middle school life.
And it's like a different genre, really. It's a different genre, because this is an adventure coming of age, but that's what you did. You went outside and...
So we've been told.
Well, yeah, I did go outside.
I went outside all the time.
We would actually go on walks in the woods behind my neighborhood when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Didn't find any
bodies.
Yeah, there were flowers and stuff.
Ever get any leeches on you?
No.
You ever seen a leech? I've never seen a leech.
I've never seen a leech.
I don't think they exist. Or are you gonna pull up this video on your phone and prove me wrong?
Crazy leech fountain. No, it's I know better than to get in muddy bodies of water in the woods and stuff like that. But you'll get worms, you know. I mean, if you open your mouth, I guess.
Yeah, they were really like kept dunking each other with their mouths wide open. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it was nasty.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever stood like I've walked on like we have a bunch of rail trails up in Pennsylvania. You got one down here in Morgantown.
We are still, you know, like we live in West Virginia and Pennsylvania in relatively rural areas as well. We're not like in the city or anything. So we still do a lot of like, I'm in a grad program. I walk to class every single day. Every day of the week, I walk to class. I like moving around, like staying mobile.
Yeah. I hate driving.
Yeah, I like driving, but
good for you.
You don't have to drive I just don't know, because it is really a different genre than a contemporary coming of age.
And I feel like that's just what makes it, that's just what makes it so special.
Yeah.
Like that's what makes it the icon that it is.
Yeah, it is a bygone time. It literally, you're looking back on something that doesn't exist anymore. Mm-hmm. And there is something inherently bittersweet about that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not bittersweet in the same way that nobody uses MySpace anymore. Like, sorry, Dee, it's cool. You got all this stuff right. Everybody's playing with like a Rubik's Cube. That's cool. It's not like, I don't get nostalgic for that.
No.
Even though I was more exposed to stuff.
And it doesn't do the tropes of nostalgia either. Like you watch Stranger Things and it's like, oh, they're watching Back to the Future in the theater. Oh my goodness. Like I remember when that was. First off, no, I don't. But also like, yeah, Stay By Me is literally just, we're going on a walk.
Yeah.
We're going on a walk. I got a canteen. I got a sleeping bag. Well, I guess the music choices is literally the only thing that's like, this is the 1950s.
Yeah, and then it just, it sets the stage. Really.
Yeah.
It's like not...
It's not used for like, remember the time, remember the time, remember the time.
And the fact that they're out in the woods and that's like the natural world, and it's like, you do need little reminders every now and then. It's like, no, this isn't your woods.
No. You don't touch grass. Like that's what it's reminding you of.
Yeah. So is it a blind spot? Yes.
You would feel like if someone would come up to you, or you would go to somebody at a party and be like, oh man, Rob Reiner, man, Stand By Me. And someone would go, oh yeah, I haven't seen that one. You would look at them and go, what?
I don't think that's necessarily what...
We don't do that.
No, we don't do that because I have so many blind spots as well, and you've got maybe a little less. Your list was smaller than mine when we.
Like I said, like you could show me something, like, and that's the beauty of all of this. Not to derail here, but like you can argue that any movie could be a blind spot.
Yeah, and look at who it represents. There's like no women in this movie.
Not at all. There's 1, 2.
Yeah, barely.
Maybe a bunch in the crowd,
right?
Of the pie scene.
Pie scene.
But you have like the waitress that thinks they're setting off cherry bombs,
right?
And then you have the mom.
Yeah.
Mom from Gremlins, might I add, who is really doing something different here.
Yeah, so I could understand that, like, some people might not relate to this movie, but
this is like, I feel like this is a universal one.
Yeah, because like we're saying, we don't relate. No. I think we're expected to relate a little bit more to this group of young boys, but there's like a boys will be boys kind of humor.
I think this hits us harder as adults.
Yeah.
But not like that we're in our 50s or 60s. Like,
right.
This was only 13 years ago for us, a little more.
Yeah.
Whereas in having that time, like realizing that we're not there anymore and realizing what we had. Like, I don't know if I would show this to my 6th graders as they currently are.
No.
That it would hit. I think it would hit. I think that ending would make them go, oh, what? Oh, my God. But, like, if I would be like, when you reach, like, 23 or 24, watch this. Like, I think it would hit them a lot harder. Not because, like, and I'm not saying it's going to be different, because that's the argument, is that, like, oh, if I show this to this generation, they're not going to enjoy it like we do.
Yeah.
It's more of those universals of like, oh, I hang with my friends. I don't have those same friends. I chased my dream. I didn't chase my dream.
Yeah.
I went with like what my parents wanted me to do. Like it's those universals that just, the whole movie's a reflection.
Yeah, and I feel like you appreciate it more because of the finality. Like,
yeah,
you just got to be looking back on it because it's a movie that's literally looking back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and it's rated R because they got it more accurate. These are little potty mouth boys.
Absolutely.
You know?
Like
So,
in this, like the Sandlot, we should like dub an accurate Sandlot. Because those kids are just, every time they swing and miss or try and tag somebody at a plate,
right.
It's just every expletive in the book, especially comments about each other's mothers and their genitalia.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and there's a place for that as well.
There is.
Yeah.
And this one just handles it so well. There's never a moment where I'm like what was that movie from like 2 years ago? Good Boys?
Yeah, yeah.
Like where the whole joke is, we're making these middle schoolers swear
It's like
and
South
find
Park.
sex toys. And,
Yeah.
they found drugs.
Yeah.
What's this? A necklace?
You know, when I look at The Sandlot, I'm always like, these guys, this is almost like a pro-hazing movie, you know?
Yeah.
But with
But don't go too far.
with Stand By Me, it's like they're not hazing each other. They're like wrestling, and they're like, they know when they go too far, too. And
they're there for each other.
They are. And it's the title, you know? And they do play the song.
They do play this song. Oh, congrats. Like, insert like a little like Price is Right. To-do. Yeah, you were right. They find a body, not wrapped in plastic, and they play the song.
No. If they didn't play the song, that would be a whole like star rating down probably for me. Because it's like, how could you name it that and not play the song? It's not the Seal version, which I love so much.
It's like that one Letterboxd account that rates movies on if they say it in the title. Like they say the title of the movie.
Yeah.
Like you take a half star off. It wasn't said, but the song plays.
Yeah.
This really holds up.
So we both agree then that this is a blind spot.
I would absolutely agree. And hearing that you haven't seen this, Misery, or A Few Good Men. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've got some Reiner to get through.
Yeah, now we gotta find another Corey Feldman movie now.
Yeah, we do.
You ever see The Lost Boys?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
All right. Well, that can't.
We gotta find somebody
can't be a
that
double
has.
blind. Yeah.
We have to find somebody that has and yell at us.
Well, I'd say that just about does us for this episode of The Blind Spots.
Yeah, first released episode.
Yeah, we'll call it the inaugural.
I like
episode.
that.
Maybe I'll put together the Goonies one at some point.
It's okay if you don't, because to the listener at home, it was the first time I've ever done a podcast on that one. And I talked a lot like this, like the entire time. Hey, did you hear about the Goonies? Like, well, let's talk about the Goonies, Jeff. It's that bad.
No, it's great.
No.
He shakes it, but eventually. But yeah, no, it's
too long.
I think it's great. Maybe I'll put it together. Maybe I'll just sprinkle clips every now and then.
Yeah.
Teases.
Also to the listener, Jeff hasn't seen 7.
No, I haven't.
So if we want,
that's not even like the biggest one I haven't seen.
What is the biggest one you haven't seen? What is your biggest blind spot?
I'd say some of the biggest ones I haven't seen. I haven't seen Titanic.
Oh God.
I haven't seen The Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay. You've seen like Goodfellas.
Nope. Haven't seen Goodfellas.
Jesus Christ.
Haven't seen The Exorcist. Haven't seen Apocalypse Now. Seven Samurai. There Will Be Blood. Chinatown.
I haven't seen that one.
Saving Private Ryan. Haven't seen that.
Oh my God.
I can cut some of these out now because I've seen the Terminators and Doctor Strangelove now. There it is.
Yeah, I think my biggest is Citizen Kane.
That is a big one.
I think my only big one left is like Twilight. Twilight, Citizen Kane.
We'll find something. Don't worry, because next time we've got to do one of Josh's blind spots
Ooh,
where I am the
luck.
certified expert. We'll find it. We'll find
What are
it.
you an expert on, huh?
We'll find out.
What's that stick figure movie you like so much?
It's such a beautiful day. That is a blind spot, my friend.
I did watch it.
Okay, well,
So,
yeah. Then
we
you
have to
should
find someone
know.
who didn't.
But thanks for listening, guys. We'll be returning to our regularly scheduled macro series, Hard Ticket, next week. We'll be doing, I call them our Duels of the Fates. We've got one that we coined, a matchup from the beginning of the podcast. We've been sitting on it for a while. It's The Matrix versus The Truman Show. The True Matrix Show. It's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for it. But we'll be right back, kicking off Season 2 next week. Don't go anywhere. We'll be bringing Josh back on as well at some point in the year.
Oh, joy.
Yeah, he cannot wait. He's ecstatic.
Sure.
But thanks for listening, everybody. Tell us some of your blind spots and some movies that you think everybody should see in the comments below. Until then, we'll see you guys at the movies.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, whatever.
It's a hard ticket at the movies. Which one will you watch? Let's decide. It's a hard